Roshfooco watches and things. Pagani Design. Okay, I mean that doesn't actually look too bad, does it? The luminescence. It has been under the kind of studio spotlights for a little while though, so as we know, Pagani Designs are not, they're not loaded with luminescent material. But I guess that was okay, that was an okay showing, fair play. Pagani Design PD-1693. As you can see, this is a fairly cheeky homage of a Rolex GMT. Or GMT functioned. Explorer type homage watch. One of the older calibers, one of the older references, sorry. That's a fairly chunky fella, that's for sure. A 42mm. Around about 50mm, or 50mm lug end to lug end. 13.5 to that protruding top hat sapphire, 20mm lugs, 160 grams sized up for me. So it's a fairly kind of chunky watch. I did when I got this, and I got this last year, so we're probably talking at least 6 months ago, perhaps even more. I do remember wearing this pretty much solidly for the first month that I had it. You can see it's got a few dings on it. I think it was a sale price, so obviously the prices on AliExpress, as you know, fluctuate fairly substantially. This was 73 bucks when I bought it, so equating to pound sterling, 58. And for that you get a whole stainless steel. Well, not only do you get the design that was designed by somebody else, but you get a whole fully stainless steel watch with a GMT movement. I think this is the DG5833. You also get 200 meters of water resistance on this watch as well. Shout out to that. You get a certainly very usable bracelet. It's solid, although it does feel fairly light. So whether the grade of steel is different for that, I don't know. Brushed throughout, including on the sides of the links. So that helps to not only make it a little more robust, because all of those dinks and mini scratches that you get don't show up as much as they would do on a polished link bracelet. But you know, I just kind of prefer that kind of muted, less blingy look. Solid end links, solid links, screw fitment. End link fit. I mean, you can't really argue with that. A little bit of wobble, I guess. But come now, £58. Clasp. This is a fairly standard Pagani Design clasp. That horizontal branding. 3 micro adjusts, double push button, kind of milled scissor. You know, a diver's extension. I guess it's 200 meter water resistance, so fair play. I don't tend to use it. Case back is, can we see the case back? Yeah. Screwed down, etched. You know, it's a case back. A few specs written around the outside, as you would imagine. Crown, branded, screwed down. This movement does hack. Slightly grainy feel when screwing back in, but it's okay, I've had worse. Head of the watch. As with all of these watches that have polished sides, you have to, certainly when you're showing them on camera, on film, quite nice to give them a little rub. But yeah, high polished sides. Polishing's okay actually, can't argue. Brush top surfaces to the lugs to match onto that bracelet. Nice continuance of textures through there. Little crown guards a la the Chronos Submariner that we've looked at as well. Bezel, GMT bezel. So from the orange GMT hand you're reading the time, ostensibly from the bezel and the minute hand. It's a fixed bezel as well. So although we've got that nice little polished element on the side of the bezel, it's brushed on the top and it's fixed as well, because not only did we check the lume early, because luminescence is not one of Pagani Design's best features. Neither are there rotating bezels, so to have a fixed bezel, no problem at all. Dial is kind of a matte. I mean, you'd like to say black, but it's more of a kind of charcoal grey really. Printed text and markers. Quite a lot of text. Although I guess the orange carrying from the hand to the GMT printing on the dial was quite nice. All of the markers are printed. The lume on those printed plots is of a kind of aged, patinaed look. The handset polished, fairly flat. But well done. Mercedes hands, again as you would expect. Hands are okay in length, perhaps a wee bit short, but I'm not going to complain about that. The movement itself, the Chinese manufactured GMT movement is okay. I mean, as I say, I wore this for a month when I first got it, and there was no noticeable huge variations at all, so it was accurate enough for me. I'll stick on a wrist and we can just have a look how it wears for 42mm on a 7-inch wrist. And there it is on my 7-inch wrist. Now it is 42 by 50, so it's, you know, it's substantial. It's certainly got a wrist presence. It's not too big for my wrist at all. You can see it's not overhanging in any way. I don't tend to like to go above 50 lug to lug too much. I mean, I do have watches that do go over the 50, but it's okay. The slab sides do make it a little, you know, it can be a little booky as far as the fitting is concerned on the wrist, but it does look okay. It's actually quite a good looking watch. Obviously, you know, that's the benefit of designing your watches from classic, well-made, well-designed watches. But yeah, for 50 odd quid, you get it below £60. It's certainly reliable. It's well made and it looks fantastic. I've got to give a shout out to the PD-1693 decent budget GMT, roshfooco, which is in things. We're out.